Hello everybody, and welcome back to everyone's favorite long-lasting TV program, Space Engine. Or something. Anyways, we're back at it. There's a lovely nebula over there within the galaxy. Thank you, Space Engine. I really appreciate that. And yeah, let's just get into it, shall we? First off, this place. Does it exist? It does this time. Ah. Yeah, apparently there was an update, which is what killed a few of the other recommendations. But this one totally worked. And it is a nebula. Kind of a diffuse nebula. Oh yeah, diffuse up there. Ha 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 ha. Not quite an emission nebula. I think the Pleiades is an emissions nebula. No, wait. Or is it? No. Oh crap, I forget. No, an emissions nebula is where it emits usually infrared from the gases itself. Whereas the Pleiades is lit up from the stars inside. But the infrared light from the dust also comes from stars inside. You think I'd know this. I've been reading astronomy books all my life, and my dad has an observatory. But, oh wow, I'm bringing shame upon my family here by forgetting the definition of a emission galaxy, or nebula. That's unfortunate. Anyways, carrying on. It is a very lovely nebula, as you can see here. I would assume it might have been from well, okay. It has like that bubbly kind of look to it, which you usually get from a stellar nursery when stars form and the stellar winds cause pockets and cavitations, which is what we kind of have going on here. That's kind of fun. Kind of like the Orion Nebula, if you look at it. There's little cavitation bubbles around some of the new stars. It's actually quite cool. Like stellar wind shapes nebula. But yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat. Now, would there be a black hole in the center? Let's find out. I don't think so, but it never hurts to check. It would usually be right in the center here. I guess not. Unless, are you a black hole? Nope, you are a white main sequence star. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Right then, we're gonna carry on. Other places I was asked to go. Let's try this one next. This is what, 2011 where is it? M102. It is indeed an asteroid. Let's go to it. Wait. That isn't it. HM102. HM102. Let's try this. I'm gonna assume it's this. I don't know what I did wrong there, but there was an error there that I wrote. Dyslexia. Alright, this is a frigid... Ooh, it's a centaur. That's kind of fun. Where's the map of this? Nope. Oh yeah, look at that. If I had to guess, that's gonna be... No. Neptune. Oh yeah, it's out here. Oh, that's right, I was thinking of the Trojans, which hang around Jupiter. Which these clumps over here are gonna be Trojans. They're actually kind of cool because they're in like a, not a synchronous kind of situation, but a really cool grouping that are shepherded by Jupiter. So they're kind of cool. So it's a centaur. That's a fantastic. It's a cold asteroid, trans-Neptunian probably. Not much else to say about it. Let's just carry on, I guess. Actually, wait. Let's get some info off it first, because you never know. Okay, there isn't much here. Alright, never mind then. There really isn't a whole lot to say about it. So, we're going to carry on. Now, since we're in the solar system, I'm going to look up and see if it's actually in the game yet. 8, 6, 9, 5, 8. No. Maybe it's just the name. Oh, it is here. Boom. Arakoth. Let's go. Now, this was the object that New Horizons flew by, as you can see here, also known by its nickname, Ultima Thule. However, Arakoth sounds way cooler and also just makes more sense, because, like, Ultima Thule was like an island or something that was like the furthest place north. So it was like, it was like a really extreme point out in the solar system, but they found places that are much further away than this. So the name kind of, it'd be like calling a building the tallest building in the world, but it's right next to another building that's even taller. It just doesn't make any sense. So Arakoth is a great name for it, and they even have the shape correct, where it's kind of a pancake. I think New Horizons was fairly lucky to fly by it broadside-like instead of, you know, on the edge. This isn't. Oh, this is like the actual imagery too, just superimposed over it. I like that. I like that a lot. Fun place indeed. It's also kind of a reddish color. Most comets actually have, or transient objects have this, and a lot of comets do too. They have darker red or black coloring because UV light from, boom, the sun, breaks down usually organics on the surface and creates just like these. Best way to describe it is like an organic sludge called tholins. They can be a reddish color, they can be black. Comets are usually black because UV light also breaks down just the surface in general. Like the Rosetta Comet. I can see the name in my head, I cannot pronounce it, but you know the one I'm talking about. Like 67P, I'll just call it. It's a very dark coal color, and for the similar kind of reasons, but usually these objects are reddish. Pluto is the same thing. It has this reddish tholin coloring covering to it. And tholins are cool because when they mix with a solvent like water, they can produce long organic chains like proteins and amino acids. So they actually may be like the fundamental building blocks of life on planets with conditions suitable. Or at least one of the locations from which they come from. Because one of the biggest questions in astrobiology is not only where do these complex organics come from, but how do they form and how do they interact? And the galaxy, as far as we can tell, is just completely full up and covered in organics, like complex organics. It's just how it works. Like, it's so common. Like, water and organics are incredibly common in the universe. It's kind of funny, actually. Alright, this is, to Garden the Star. Oof. Was this Tabby Star, the one that was dimming? Or something different? I actually forget. Because the dimming one was kind of cool, because they didn't know exactly why it was dimming, and there was the really out there conjecture that it could possibly be a techno signature, but that was more just, like, you know, it was on the table, but it wasn't, like, the most likely answer. But it turns out that it was probably very fine dust, like smoke-like dust, that was causing that. Bit of a disappointment, but eh. When we do find a techno signature, it'll be great. I'm confident we will eventually. Don't know when, but eventually. So yeah, this is, might as well go to both planets. Why not? Good God. Okay, it was like minus 30 yesterday, and then with a wind chill of minus 40, and it's been like that all week. And now today it's like above 0, so kind of crazy. Whenever there's a massive weather change, usually temperature or pressure, I always get like my vertigo acts up, and it's awful. But this time's actually not been that bad. I had a really, really bad headache the other day, but beside that, I'm pretty good. Alright. A cool lacustrian terra. Lacustrian. What a great word. I love the words. I looked at my cat for a second. He's passed out next to me asleep. I was gonna make some comment about calling him a cool astronomy word, but he wouldn't even care. He cares what I have to say a lot of the time, but I don't know. He just doesn't. Anyways, I was also asked to look for the Great Comet of 44 BCE, and I'm here to tell you that isn't possible. Now, I would love to go and find it. Unfortunately, the comet was only observed over 2,000 years ago, and there isn't a lot of information to go off on it. Like, we know roughly, we can make some rough conjectures about its path, but it hasn't been back since. And judging by what we do know from the accounts, it was probably on a retrograde orbit, and it probably was shot out of the solar system on its way out. So it's probably still drifting off into, well, interstellar space by now, just doing its thing. And I don't think it exists in the game because it doesn't, there's no information about it beyond that it existed. So I would like to go and find it. Unfortunately, I don't think I can. So that's very sad, and I apologize. However, I'm going to go to Saturn because I like Saturn a lot. Look at that hexagonal vortex pattern. Wait, that's 6. Is that a hex? 6 hex? Yes. Or penta. No, a pentagram is a star. Hexa. It's not octa. Octa is 8. Penta is 5. Hexa? That seems correct to me, so I'm gonna go with it. Ooh, the dwarf moon Prometheus. How fortuitous. I was actually watching Prometheus last night because it was just on, and I've already watched it, but I wanted to watch again. And honestly, it's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. I enjoy it. The scientists were all really, really, like, dumb people, but beyond that, it was fun. Except for the geologist, I was always on board with everything he said. It's like, he, brought the flamethrower with him. Like they were about to walk into an ancient alien building, and he wanted to bring the gun. They were like, this is a science expedition, no weapons. And he was all, like, mad at them. And I was like, I'm with him on this one. Bring the fucking guns. And then when they found the giant decapitated engineer, and he freaked out, and he was like, I'm going back to the ship. And I would have been like, right behind you, brother. Like, honestly, it's like he was the smart one. I forget how he dies. I didn't watch the full thing because I was really tired and I fell asleep. But either way, he was the smart one. Enceladus is a fun place, but I'm looking for my favorite locale, which you all probably know, is Titan. 10 out of 10, favorite location in the solar system outside of Earth. Ah, I love Titan so much. I want to go to Titan. Like, if Elon Musk's starships can actually do, like, long interplanetary travels, I'm going to make sure that one somehow gets to Titan. Well, I don't know. I'm just a random person. I doubt I can actually do that. But either way, the great thing about Titan is its atmospheric pressure is fairly close to Earth, so you don't actually need a pressure suit when you're on it. You need insulation and you need oxygen, but you don't need, like, a pressure suit. Your suit's internal pressure can be similar to the external pressure because it's only a little bit higher than Earth's. So that's pretty cool. Of course, it is very, very cold. Air temperature minus 178 degrees Celsius. But because there's very little wind on the surface, you actually wouldn't lose temperature via convection very much. You would through radiation, though. So you could almost, if you wore a full face mask, you could almost get away with wearing, like, an full Arctic coveralls and jacket setup on the surface. I don't know for how long, but you could probably get away with that for a little bit. and that's kind of cool. I've actually been kind of designing a spacesuit to work on Titan that is literally just like a self-heating. It's a full gas envelope, but it's self-heating and is made to basically operate as a non-pressurized bladder on Titan. So it's basically just a big parka that's airtight. So you have your air mixtures, but I don't know. I haven't really gotten very far on that. It's just kind of roughly being designed. What else to talk about? SpaceX did their launch abort system, or yeah, launch abort test, or I should say flight abort test, emergency report. You know what I'm talking about. They did a test yesterday, or today, this morning, and it was a lot of fun. The rocket took off, did its thing. The capsule behaved beautifully. It touched down in the ocean. But what was really fun was the rocket broke apart, which is what they were expecting, but it broke apart in a really nice symmetrical round explosion, like a nice pop of an explosion. Very satisfying to watch. If you didn't see it, go watch the videos. It's a lot of fun. I always love a good rocket explosion that doesn't hurt people or damage important equipment. So that is good. Oh, I left Saturn behind. I don't know where I put it. I've misplaced an entire planet. Oh, there it is. Oof, that was close. Actually, no, we're gonna go somewhere. No, actually, no. No, yes, no, yes. Okay, fine. I'll go land on Titan. I just really want to for some reason. I've been here like a million times in this series, but it's so much fun. Love Titan. You know, in the original 2001: A Space Odyssey book, they didn't go to Saturn or to Jupiter. They went to Saturn. Specifically, they went to... See if I can find it. It's around here somewhere. No. No. Ugh. Pandora. No. Pan. No. Prometheus, we were just there. Mimas. No. Screw it, we'll do it this way. They went to... Where is it? It's here somewhere. There's a... I could just type it in, but hey, Ymir. That's Norse mythology right there. But not what I'm looking for. Oh, come on. Here we go. Iapetus. This is a fun place. As you can tell, it has a nice divide in its coloration. But yeah, in the original book, they went to Iapetus, not Europa. But when they were making the movie, Stanley Kubrick couldn't get Saturn's rings to look proper on screen, on camera, wherever Saturn is. So they changed it from Saturn to Jupiter because he could do Jupiter that and make it look good. So he did, and everyone was happy about that. It looked great. And actually, it was funny because in the second book, 2010, it picked up where the movie left off. So it was Saturn. It was Jupiter, not Saturn. Uh-oh. No. I turned on spaceship mode and I don't know how to fix this. It should be down here. There we go. Whereas in the third book, was it Saturn? I think it was still Jupiter. It's weird. Arthur C. Clarke kind of made the comment that all 4 of the Space Odyssey books were kind of in their own universes. That it was basically a multiverse where it's like each one was a self-contained story that was loosely based off the other. So each one was canon to itself and continued a story, but the story was different. So it was weird. And there were like kelp monsters that lived, they weren't monsters, but kelp creatures that lived on Europa, and diamonds, and Jupiter was turned into a sun. And the monoliths were bad. They became bad, I think is what's going on here. As that loads in anyways. Also, I got a Oculus Rift S. Yes, no, like last week. And I've actually been really enjoying it. It's my first experience with VR, and it's actually a lot of fun. Oh, come on. And it was actually kind of funny because I've wanted a VR headset since like the first Oculus development kits came out. But at that time, I thought to myself, the development kits are gonna suck. I'm not gonna buy one, so I didn't. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And then the Oculus CV1 came out, and I was like, oh, I should get that. But then there were other companies like the HTC Vive and whatnot, which were like, competing, and I was like, I don't know. So I kind of put it off. And then the Rift S and the Oculus Quest came out, and I was like, that's kind of neat. And I wasn't really going to buy one, but on Boxing Day, there was a pretty substantial sale for the Rift S. And I was like, okay, it's on sale. I can justify that expense because I want to do VR programs to help people anyway. It's like exposure therapy stuff. So I finally broke down and ordered one, and it's a lot of fun. I still wear glasses and I wear them while I'm wearing it, but it's actually quite comfortable. Field of view is actually a little narrower than I was expecting. Like, I'm very aware of the dark bands on either side of my vision, but it doesn't ruin it for me, honestly. Like, it's still like once you like are paying attention to the game or whatever you're doing, you don't even notice them. Like, they're there, but you can just kind of put it out of your mind and you're still enjoying yourself. And the hand controls, the tracking, I was not expecting how good the tracking was on the Rift. It's so good. It's incredible how well it picks up the controllers and the head movements. So, I've been playing around with that. I was actually playing VR chat, I think, an hour ago, 2 hours ago, before doing this video, and it's such a surreal experience. You're just like an anime character, and you're watching another anime character bully another anime character, while a JoJo's character and like Sonic is next to you, and it's just like, it's just weird. It's just so weird. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna start doing VR programs in Unity. But right now I'm just finishing up some updates for Go Outside Simulator because I need to get that squared away before I continue on with other projects because I have too many. Anyways, that's 20 minutes. I'm going to leave it off there. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have ideas for places for me to go, let me know in the comments below. If you want topics for me to talk about, I'll talk about pretty much anything, as long as it's not like overly offensive. I mean, I'll talk politics if you guys want, but nobody wants that, so let's not. Although I do like political science, but people take that as, oh, you're talking political, and it's like, no, I'm just talking about basic human stuff. Like, oh man, Cold War history, a lot of fun. I mean, scary, but fun. But anyways, so yeah, any topic, I'll talk about pretty much anything. I'll go to anywhere. I don't know. Do I have a good voice? One of my friends said I had a good voice, like for radio stuff, but I stutter a lot, and I slur my words sometimes, and I talk too fast, so I don't know. I might have a good voice, but I need to work on my cadence. So, yeah, let me know. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and space.